What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I got some parts: rear GLI bumper, GLI trunk. I want to swap my my stuff out. I also got GLI taillights to put in, so we're gonna get rid of this trunk again. It's picked up a dent right here when I got rear-ended again. I've been rear-ended 3 times in this car. My original GLI trunk got completely folded in. The taillights got smashed. Now we got some new replacement parts we're gonna finally put on and actually finish the kit for this, so it'll actually be a 2-point slow with a full GLI body kit essentially. It's already got the front end on it. So we got a full GLI front end already. It's got some cheap eBay side skirts. So we'll start by pulling the taillights out. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Pull the caps off. Alright, so you got these screws that just screw into the taillight. And then once you screw that in, or unscrew that, you can then kind of pop the taillight off this way, and then the whole thing will just come out. Got that unclipped, pulled off. That's how that taillight comes out. You can see the clip. You got these 2 clips on either side. You got to like press in to get it to release. But we'll get the other side off and then we'll get started on the bumper. Alright, so now in order to get the trunk off, it's just 2 bolts here and here. But I gotta get the harness out, so I have to pull off this plastic trim right here. There's screws missing there, but this one's still in, right? Yeah, that one still has a screw. So we gotta pull the screws out, and then we can pop this trim panel off, and then we can fish the wiring harness out. So now I got the trim panel pulled off, and I can get to the wiring harness. So I gotta unplug all these connectors that go to the taillights, to the trunk latch, and I think that's it. Alright, so we got the harness pulled out. I got this kind of draped out the back now. So now we can undo the bolts here. They're 10mm nuts, and that's all that's holding my trunk on now. So, alright, so we got the old trunk pulled off. Now we'll get the new one mounted up there, and then we'll run our harness and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna give you a little bit of word of advice. If you ever swap the trunk on any car for that matter, you want to make sure your latch is working before you close it. So go ahead and pop a screwdriver in to get it to latch, and then hit the release and make sure it opens up like that. Let's see how this looks. Gap looks pretty good. Yeah, gap looks pretty good. So I'd say the trunk looks perfect. So now what we'll do is we'll get this bumper off, because I want to get the bumper replaced before I put the taillights in, because if you look right in here, the taillights actually, like, they hold the bumper down and hold the clips into the bumper. So, alright, so next I got to get these screws out. I have mud flaps. You might not have mud flaps on your car, but I got to get some screws out here to get the mud flap off, and then there's going to be a few additional screws up inside here, and then one that goes up right behind here. I got to get all those out. I think there's 3 or 4 of them, and then this will just come right off, and then there's 3 that run across the bottom, and then I got the same on the other side. Alright, so I had 6 screws on this side. So I had one that went up straight through that way, and then I had one that was right there, which is sitting right there. So if you're wondering, there is one that's a little bit deeper in there that's hard to see. Don't rip your bumper off when you go to pull it off. So that's good. Now I should have just one on the bottom underneath here, and then I'll have one in the middle, one on the bottom on the other side, and then the other 6 that hold this on. Thankfully I have this little itty bitty ratchet that I can put a bit driver in. I was able to fish it up in there just barely to get that screw and the middle one out. So now I just got to do the very last one. So this is actually the first time I've ever taken the bumper off since my accident, and I can really see how caved in it is right here. It's pushed up under. Thankfully, it didn't hit the actual bumper support and cave the frame in, but I think I got pretty lucky with this one. So now we got the bumper off. You see, this one's got some damage on it. It's scratched up. It's got dents in the middle. It's all banged up right here and deformed. And now we can put this nice GLI bumper on here. Have us a nice diffuser and a little cutout for the door pipe. So Much nicer bumper than mine. Alright. We got our GLI rear bumper, hatch, and taillights all installed on the old base model. We'll list this bumper, see if we can sell it. I'm sure someone needs a bumper that's in way of rougher shape. Probably ask like 50 bucks or something. Same with the hatch. I'll sell the hatch and the old taillights. Don't need them anymore, but man, this thing looks really good now. I gotta clean up this bumper. It's pretty dirty and it's got some like paint marker on it from the junkyard. Other than that, very nice. Alright, so we're gonna remove the rear seats from my Jetta. The bottom of these match my front seats, but I think I'd rather just have the whole rear setup match and get rid of the plaid bottom, and I'll just sell the bottoms I have. Please ignore how messy my car is, but yeah, I don't know where this headrest is at, to be honest. That doesn't matter, these seats are pointless and worthless. They're base model, so yeah, let's get these pulled out. So in order to pull these seats out, all you have to do is come to the bottom here and just kind of yank it up like that. And we'll go to the other side. And then it's going to be the same on this side. You just kind of yank it up. And once you do that, it just kind of pulls out. I got to get these plastic clips out. So there's these plastic clips down here, these anchor points for like child seats. They're a little bit tricky to get out, but you got to get those out in order to get the whole seat out. So, like that. So you can see how it's shaped kind of like a J. It just kind of hooks down in. You got to get that pushed up out of the way. Sometimes it helps if you go ahead and take the back seats out first, the uprights. So we'll get these out of my way so I can get those out easier. I don't even know why I have these in here, to be honest. That's not like I use child safety seats. I don't have children. So once you get that out, then you have to push the bottom of the seat back and kind of up, and it'll unlock it so you can remove it. Like that. Now we'll get the other one down here. You gotta go ahead and feed the seat belts through the holes. It's not too difficult. That side locked in. Alright, I got that side locked in. Alright, this side's done. Let me go clamp that side in. Boom. Alright, so we got the base in. Now I got to get my uprights in. Alright, there we go. Seats installed. And that's our GLI seats installed in the base model Jetta. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my emergency brake or parking brake lever in. I showed in my last video how to do this. What you do is get your forearm placed down right here, and then you grab the emergency, make sure you want to have it lifted, but you grab it and you kind of push it forward and it should just come right off. Pretty simple. Like that. Not too hard to get off. Pretty simple. And then the boot is just clipped in, so you just kind of pull the boot out like that. I'm actually going to keep the black button on mine because I like the black. I find it so much easier if you put the boot back onto the shifter how it's supposed to be before you install it. Because trying to connect this boot onto the shifter is a pain once it's installed. So, get it down. Make sure I don't tear it up too much. Alright. Get my boot clipped in. All in there properly. Now, we just have to do the reverse, and it's kind of, you want to tap it down. So I'll put my one hand here, and I'll just kind of, boom, and then it's seated. And now we're good. So we got our GLI emergency brake, parking brake, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care, installed, and it looks good now. Nice. I personally think it looks better with the black button, but that's just me. I am sweating like a dog back here. I think that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Anyone who made it to the end, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'm curious to see who actually watched the video all the way through. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's been fun turning this car into a GLI. I mean, realistically, the only things I got left to do is the manual or the 6-speed swap and turboing the 2-liter. Oh, and my mirrors. I got to do mirrors. That's pretty much it. Everything else on this car is GLI.